running a human smuggling and adoption scheme. Right now, he is facing a judge in federal court in Arkansas for his arraignment. Peterson faces 19 federal charges, including human smuggling and money laundering. 12 News live at the courthouse in Fayetteville. Our Bianca Bono is inside that courtroom right now for the hearing. She'll bring us details in about 15 minutes on 12news.com and the 12 News app right after the hearing wraps up. Right now, 12 at 12. Will we hear new Justin Bieber music before Christmas? The internet reaching a mega milestone today, and the jaw-dropping number of hours our kids spend on screens every day. 12 at 12 starts right now. 12 minutes, no commercials, on TV and on the go on the 12 News app, Facebook, and YouTube. Hey guys, it's Tram here. Up first, today's talker. With the holiday season right around the corner, do you have any airport security concerns ahead of your holiday travel? The question comes after a new Associated Press report finds there have been 21 security breaches in 12 years at Sky Harbor alone. Cast your vote right now at 12news.com/bullhorn or comment down below if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. The results just minutes away. Hashtag most clicked. Here are the stories piquing everyone's interest right now. Up first, firefight. Crews are warning evacuees, including actors and athletes, to stay away from the Getty fire in the LA area. Firefighters are bracing for a blistering night of stiff Santa Ana winds, which could fan those flames. Meanwhile, in Northern California, frustration and anger are mounting as the state's biggest utility starts more fire prevention blackouts that could leave millions in the dark for days. Whipping winds are continuing to spread the Kincaid fire, which has destroyed 57 homes, more than 120 total buildings. More than 30 Arizona fire departments are helping this firefight, including Valley teams from Sun City, Sedona, Mesa, Eloy, and Surprise. Governor Twosie showing his support to those in California, tweeting, "Arizona is praying for and here to support our neighbors in California." Number 2 most clicked now, starting next week, the University of Arizona is now going to refer to itself as U Arizona instead of U of A. The school says the change will help distinguish the University of Arizona from several other national and international entities that use the abbreviation UA, and it'll also help with search engine optimization, or SEO. Number 3, Wizard Rock south of Prescott is gone, and nobody knows why or how. The landmark that's black with white quartz running through it used to be along Highway 89. It weighs a ton, so the only way to move it is with heavy equipment. In today's Pulse on Health, just how much time are your kids spending on their screens? Common Sense Media researchers finds 8 to 12-year-olds on average spend nearly 5 hours a day on screens. For teenagers, the average jumps to 7.5 hours a day, and that doesn't even include using screens at school or for homework. From teens to adults, Facebook is rolling out a new preventative health tool that gives us personalized reminders about vaccines and various healthcare tests. It creates a list of recommendations based on the age and sex listed on your profile. Facebook claims it has safeguards in place to protect our privacy and will not share data from the tool with third parties. Hey, speaking of tech, the internet, can you believe this? Now a half a century old. Yeah, 50 years ago today, a UCLA professor sent the first message over a network of computers that would later become the internet. Harry taking a look back at how far we've come since then.
By the mid-1980s, personal computers were becoming more common, but to connect, you had to use a telephone line. Software was primitive, and cell phones were, well, they were the size of a suitcase. And the World Wide Web, WWW, did not come into existence until 1989. As machines became more sophisticated, the word internet began to creep into our collective vocabulary.
Allison, can you explain what internet is?
That was 1994, 26 years after the internet first came to be. In 1997, fully half the households in America which were connected to the internet were using AOL.
You've got mail.
America Online. We were getting connected by the millions, oftentimes to complete strangers. Cupid was online too.
He did not know how old I was until the day before we met.
She used to just say, oh, I'm a few years older, I'm a few years older.
And where all those people were gathered, there was money to be made.
Investors are really trying to hitch their wagon to all things internet.
Suddenly, the words Silicon Valley were on everyone's lips.
Internet companies are the hottest and most profitable investments in a generation.
And in the year 2000, the dot-com bubble burst.
Most dot-com retail companies will be out of business by next year.
But while investors cried over their losses, inventors and entrepreneurs kept improving ways to use the internet.
The Google search engine has gotten so popular, it's given rise to something called Googling.
The power and speed of the internet made a lot of things obsolete. A show of hands, please, for all who remember encyclopedias. Among the books you no longer bought were the ones sold in stores.
We're trying to create something entirely new, something that the world hasn't seen before.
First a bookseller, then a purveyor of just about everything.
Actually, all orders do need to be placed online.
Thanks to or because of the internet, Amazon has moved into our households.
Alexa, how many ounces are in a cup?
By the mid-2000s, smartphones exploded into the marketplace. The first iPhone?
There we go, right there.
In 2007. Just about that time, Facebook entered the scene.
Connecting with friends is something that everyone needs to do, and Facebook lets people in all different demographics all over the world do that.
Connectivity. We wonder if 50 years ago anyone imagined an America where we spend so much time on screens, as much as 12 hours a day, including TV. The first electronic connector was Samuel Morse. His message across a telegraph line in 1866, "What hath God wrought?" What indeed.
What a history lesson, and sadly, yes, I do remember the encyclopedia. The world's leading tech experts are gathering at UCLA today, honoring the significance of that moment 50 years ago, and to discuss what's next. Well, can you feel it in the air? We are in store for more chilly mornings and nights across Arizona. Crystal joining us with a forecast for 1-1.
This morning in Phoenix was the coldest in 228 days, bottoming out at 48 degrees. The last time we came crashing down to that number was March 15th. That's 12 degrees below the normal low temperature and 8 degrees above the record. Tonight, temperatures continue their decline. 45 at a minimum in Phoenix, below freezing in Payson. The teens for Prescott. 10 for Show Low, Winslow, and Flagstaff, in single digits at the Grand Canyon. Tomorrow, Winslow 45, 35 for a maximum in Flagstaff, and on the cusp of 70 in Phoenix, 66 in Parker. And as the kiddos are collecting their candy, in Phoenix, temperature readings in the 60s, same for Lake Havasu City. Trick-or-treating time for Flagstaff, 30s is what will be on the thermometer, and 40s for Prescott and Payson. Another cold front has our name on it tomorrow, and that's what's going to wind up the winds and reinforce that cold. That's why those high temperatures are tumbling to the 60s. And then by Halloween morning, 43 degrees. That would be the coldest Halloween morning in 44 years.
Well, in your Daily Juice, AGT Judge Howie Mandel is guest hosting Ellen today, only on 12 News. The comedian admitting he thought he agreed to be a guest, not host the show.
I said, I'll be here, and they kept talking, and I'm thinking they wanted to go over what I wanted to. I have nothing. I have nothing. Why does she need the day off? What is, does anybody know what she's doing?
Someone's got to do it. Golden Globe winning actor Ewan McGregor joins Howie to talk about reprising his Star Wars role. Catch that today at 3, only on 12 News. Well, don't make him say he's sorry. Justin Bieber is challenging us to like his latest Instagram post, which says if it gets 20 million likes, he will release his next album before Christmas. Well, right now, the post has a little more than 10 million likes. It's been nearly 4 years since Biebs dropped his last studio album. Time now for A to Z 60, where we celebrate the people, places, and things that make the Valley so awesome in just 60 seconds. No lines, no crowds, no baggage fees. A new semi-private airline is taking off from Sky Harbor, and as Colleen shows us, it's more affordable than you may think.
I think we can all agree going to the airport takes time. Getting here 2 hours ahead of time and then going through security isn't always easy. So JSX wants to make the process more enjoyable.
JSX is a hop-on jet service. That means that you skip all the hassles of the airport. You arrive 20 minutes before your flight, you hop on and you go.
JSX estimates they save folks about 2 hours on round-trip flights.
When you're flying short distances, specifically 500 miles and less, it doesn't make sense to spend more time in the airport than you actually do in flight.
Once you're on the plane, they've taken out the overhead bins to open up some space, and you get all the perks.
Have free snacks, free cocktails, free drinks, and then starting at early next year, we'll be adding full broadband Wi-Fi on all of our planes.
Each flight can carry 30 people, but just because there's fewer people on the plane doesn't necessarily mean you'll have to pay more to grab a seat.
Our fares start as low as $49 one way.
Right now, you can fly from Sky Harbor to Burbank or Vegas, and Oakland's going to be added in mid-November. And that's your A to Z 60.
Hey, speaking of flying, back to today's talker now involving holiday travel. Do you have airport security concerns ahead of your holiday travel? Apparently 13% of you say yes, absolutely, and a whopping 87% say no way. Keep voting on 12news.com/bullhorn, and those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, feel free to comment down below. Time now for the look ahead, the stories you'll be talking about a little later on today. Suspended Maricopa County Assessor Paul Peterson going before a federal judge in Arkansas. He's accused of running a human smuggling and adoption scheme. Live coverage from the hearing starting on 12 News first at 4. And that's your 12 at 12, the facts on everything you need to know in just 12 minutes, no commercials. We're always on, anywhere, anytime on 12news.com, the 12 News app, and our socials as well. We'll see you back here again soon. Now let's check in with Desiree to see what's next on Arizona Midday.
Coming up on Arizona Midday, it's all about bacon. We're going to